If you're moving with toddlers, babies, any sort of littles, you're not just moving. You're not just packing boxes. You are trying to manage your children. You're maybe dealing with emotional outbursts, trying to give them snacks and meals while your kitchen is sort of falling apart and then being rebuilt at the next house. You're dealing with so much more. So my name is Amanda. We are about to move here in about the next month or so, and I have been racking my brain for how to make moving as smooth and easy as possible, not just for me, but primarily for my children. I'm going to run you through my current plan going into it, and then maybe after we have moved, I will kind of go through what worked and what didn't. So let's jump right into it with tip number 1. My first tip is prep mode, and this is just all the prep. We are not moving yet. It's not quite time to start packing boxes. This is where I currently am. So what am I doing? I'm going through closets. I'm cleaning things out. Maybe it's getting rid of some toys that we don't want to make the move. Maybe this has nothing to do with them and it's just putting like things together. Like, okay, let's organize the cleaning supplies. The way that when it's time to pack and move, it's tidied up, it's clean. This past weekend, my husband and I, we kind of like washed out and cleaned our grill because we're gonna have to move that grill in about a month. And it would be nice to move a clean grill rather than a dirty one. And I know you could move and then clean it, but he wants to move a dirty one. And also we're gonna be exhausted when we move, and we know that. So we're prepping, okay? We went through our coolers the other day out in the garage and in our shed, cleaned them out with our kids outside with the water hose, and it was great. And now those are cleaned out and sort of ready to move. So this is prep time. I went through my youngest clothes really, really well, cleaned out anything that was small or even just kind of getting small, out of season, and passed those on to the cousins. We do a hand-me-down system. I got as much clothes out as I possibly could. Okay, so minimizing on their clothing, because with kids, it's a constant flow of we're getting hand-me-downs and we're giving hand-me-downs. So trying to keep that minimal up until the point of moving and get rid of as much as we possibly can. So we are discarding items, giving clothing of my own, my husband's to the thrift store, minimize. Even though we're actually moving to a larger home, we still don't want to take junk. We don't want to take items that do not serve us anymore. That is what I would suggest before the crucial time of packing and moving is to prep. Make it as smooth as it possibly can be with that little bit of prep work. So tip number 2 is to start packing early. So we are already collecting boxes. My husband is collecting boxes from work, trying to save money and not buy boxes. Honestly, we are going to start packing early. Not too early, but a little bit early. So things that don't matter to my children. We're going to pack up at some point the pictures on the wall. Take those down. They're not really doing anything. It's fine. You know, working on packing up certain kitchen items that we do want to keep them, but they're not daily users. Another thing I want to say in the kitchen is I'm doing a bit of a pantry challenge. I have a whole video selection on those from January and February when I did a pantry challenge. Basically, I'm doing it again for moving to move as little food as possible. That's a whole nother subject. So check those out if you're interested. Okay, so start early, do nap times if that works for you, or pack in the evening even. Or have your kids help you pack if it's something that is not breakable and something they can help you with. Tip number 3 is to create a toddler essentials kit. This is kind of like your weekender bag or maybe a week bag even, where maybe you pack your child's clothing, but you leave out 4 outfits. This is for them to get through that moving period. Other essentials in this bag would be go-to shoes for them. It would be any loveys, any special items, their blanket for sleep, or like for us, we have the hatch light in our children's bedrooms. I can link that in the description if you're interested in that as well. But we have the hatch light, and that is part of their routine. It's part of their system, okay? The hatch light is gonna be in their room until we move, and it's gonna be one of the first items that is plugged back in when we get there. All right, because that is routine, that is consistency. Pack it early with some stuff, such as clothing, but leave those finishing touches until the very end. All right, make sure this bag does not get buried deep in a moving truck or a moving pod or anything like that. Ideally, it rides in the car with you. This is your baby's essential items for whatever age and whatever phase of life they are in. Tip number 4 is to turn packing into a game wherever and whenever you can. If they're old enough to help you, let them. All right, and sometimes it might even be like kind of silly. Like say you throw their socks on the floor and say, okay, we need to pack the socks. And you give them a bag and tell them to put the socks in a bag. Okay, just keep them busy. Let them feel like they're helping. Try to help them understand what's going on a little bit by giving them some action, something to do versus the move happening to them. Let them be a part of the move. Which takes me into tip number 5, which is talking about the move. Make sure they know what's going on. You could, explain it different ways. Get some books from the library that are about moving. It could be taking pictures in your current home. Like, oh, do you want to have a memory here? For us, our children went to our original showing of the house, and they also went to the inspection with us. We include our kids. We did not get babysitters for that So they were a part of the whole process and kind of have had time to see the house, be in the house, and adjust to the thoughts of the house, versus some parents don't take their kids when they go look at homes. And then it's like, we're buying this house. You guys never even saw it. We didn't do that. Our kids are, I guess, well enough behaved to go with us on a showing, and we feel confident taking them. So that's something we're very open with our children. Once we made that decision to purchase this house and we felt like it was for sure going to happen, nothing was going to fall through, we let them know we are going to move, and that is happening. If you do want to take your children to a showing and you don't feel like you 100% can manage them on your own, consider taking a grandparent. Same with like the inspection or any other opportunity you have to see the house. Maybe you feel like you need to talk serious, you and your spouse, and you want them to just like walk around the outside of the house with grandma or grandpa, or go check out the backyard. That's an option. For me, we were able to manage it, and then during the inspection, my husband hung out with the inspector and I hung out with the kids. So we made it work that way. Tip number 6 is to child-proof the house or make a safe space ASAP, depending again on your children's ages. If you've got a crawling baby, this, that, if you're getting new carpet or flooring, or if you're just moving straight in. Are there stairs? Do you need a baby gate? Do you need to do some deep cleaning in the kitchen? Maybe you set up a pack and play and put like a crawler in there with some toys, and you're like, okay, they're in a safe place. I can unpack the kitchen. Another suggestion I got from a good friend is to create a safe space for them. It could be a playroom, it could be a bedroom, and you baby-proof that room. You put toys in there for them and you make it safe. Once their room is set up, you go work on the kitchen. You do other things, but make sure it is safe for your child, because you're gonna be busy. Okay, you got a lot going on and it's hard to just sit there and stare at your kid. And again, this could be another time to call the grandparents in for help and for reinforcements. Tip number 7 is to keep the routines intact. Okay, so when we move, we actually are fortunate enough, we're probably gonna move over the course of a week or two. We don't have to be out of our house ASAP. So we're gonna move non-essential items, and then that final day, the crib is gonna come down, the beds are gonna come down, the hatch light, it's gonna move, and those are the first things we're gonna set up, so that overall our children are gonna feel as much as they can feel like they're at home. We're gonna keep the bedtimes the same. We're gonna do our hatch light, the light turns red at 8 p.m. in our house, and that means bedtime. Okay, we are gonna have the same jammies, we're gonna have the same sheets, we're gonna have the same sound effect in their room. Everything we can make the same, we are gonna make the same, because they might struggle, and your kid might be waking up at 4 a.m. because they're confused or they don't feel right, the house doesn't smell the same. All these little things are gonna be tough. So anything and everything we can make the same, we plan to make the same. Tip number 8 is to arrange childcare if you can on moving day. So honestly, we may send them to an aunt's house with their cousins, or we might just keep them with us. We'll see how it's going. And like I said, we might do a little bit of a slow move. So again, we will see. But if you can, it probably would be helpful to have your children go somewhere else and enjoy a day with grandma and grandpa or aunts, uncles, and cousins. And just honestly, ideally, they have a really fun time there while you are moving and packing up. Tip number 9, I've sort of alluded to, and that is to unpack in a certain priority or order. So first, create a safe space for them. Then I would say set up their bedroom. That way that for nighttime, they're good to go. You need to prioritize your child. You can sleep on the floor if you have to. You know what I mean? They need their comfort. They need their routine. So start with your child. Creating a safe place and a sleep place is what I would recommend. After that, it's making sure you have like snacks and meals that they can have as well. Then you can organize your kitchen. Then you can organize your, I don't know, office, bedroom, whatever else. All right, prioritize your kids. They need it. They need the stability as much as possible. And tip number 10 is to give yourself grace. All right, this move is not going to go perfect. It's going to be rough on your kids. Do what you can. I don't typically buy a lot of prepackaged snacks. I don't buy a lot of like protein bars and Cliff bars anymore. I've gotten away from that, but you know what? When we're moving, I might buy some prepackaged things. I might also put some like pretzels and animal crackers in Ziplocs and have those prepared for these moving days and these just busy days we're gonna have. All right, so give yourself grace. Paper plates. Once we pack up the kitchen, we will pack up the plates, and we're probably gonna eat off paper plates. Could be a week, could be 2 weeks. We normally do not eat off of paper products, like at all. But during this move, that's something where it's just easier because I want those glass or porcelain, whatever they are, I want those plates packed up in advance and packed up well, not rushed and last minute. So we're gonna eat off paper a little bit, and that's okay. Not my favorite, not something we typically do, but during a move with children, you gotta do what you gotta do. So whatever conveniences you need for this short window, do what you need to do. It might cost you a little extra, it might be spending money where you might not want to or normally typically need to, but give yourself that grace. Your kids are gonna be a little off schedule, things are gonna be a little wonky. Just do your best to keep it as consistent as possible for your children. Moving with littles is no small feat. Okay, but with some planning and a lot of snacks on hand, I think we can make this work. So if you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe. Check out some more videos on my channel. And also subscribe so you can come back and see my part 2 to this after we have moved and I discuss what worked and what did not. In the meantime, I will link some other videos in the description. Check those out and I will see you in that next video. Have a great day.